I welcome John Randalls from Mosh Social Media, talking about attracting your community to your service. So good luck with that.
Kia ora everybody. Hopefully you're refreshed after the break and ready for the trolls and tribulations that come across with social media. That was a little pun there for those of you who had enough sugar to stay awake. So I'm one of the grandfathers in this space, having started a business in 2009. And I've seen it become the place for businesses and organisations to communicate with their audience. But unfortunately, most of them don't do this very well at all. So today, I'm going to be sharing tips and tricks that we've learnt over the past 12 years working with a real variety of organisations. So, just some context. If anything, COVID ensured that social media is even more of a key channel. So this was us in 2020. Can anyone relate? Yep. So this is where people spend their time. And nearly all of us, New Zealanders, our team of 5 million, are on social media. And the first bubble, I've got a pointer. The first bubble, it's going to save me so much time. This is great. So the first bubble is how many active social media users there are in New Zealand. So at close to 4 million, it's nearly all of us, except for the older ones. Nearly said super old, might get in trouble. Or the super young. So if not them and not them, pretty much all of us are on some platform or another. And this is quite key, and it's something that's often forgotten, is, don't worry about all the other bubbles, but this bubble says 97% of those using social media are doing it from here. So when we're creating content on these platforms, we need to understand that this is the size and the shape of what they're going to be looking at, not the beautiful picture you've put together on your desktop. So if I haven't driven the point home hard enough yet, your audience are here. They're on social media. Probably in here, I imagine, and I'm sort of talking about the families that you'll be speaking to. And this is families of the people that you already have in your schools and your programs, but also new ones. So this is about attracting new ones as well as keeping the ones that you currently have engaged. So, there are many platforms. What's your favorite? Facebook? Instagram? Who likes Instagram? Yep. Have we got TikTok people in here? Is anyone on TikTok? So I reckon when I do this next year, many of you will probably be on TikTok. Funnily enough, so invite me back next year and we'll take a poll. Make sure you guys come back because it's quite an interesting phenomenon watching this one. But luckily, don't worry about it. So for you and your businesses, where I want you to focus is Facebook, and if you're daring, then maybe Instagram as well. So these numbers, you can't read what they say, but I'll tell you. The top one's YouTube. Don't worry about that. It's probably too hard. It's a whole different thing. It's not really a social network. It's more something we consume. But the big long one is Facebook. And the long one below that is Facebook Messenger. And then we get Instagram. So bang for buck, and again, the people that you're trying to reach, then having a really strong Facebook presence is your number one priority. And again, if you're daring and you've got good-looking imagery, don't go on Instagram unless you've got good-looking imagery. That would be the next place to go. So, we know where your target audience is, but it's hard to reach them, let alone engage with them. Why? Algorithms. It comes lost with all the other stuff. It's so busy. So you're not competing with other competitors or other schools. You're competing with people's family and friends for their attention. And if you don't have a well thought out plan or an understanding of how the stuff works, you're probably completely wasting your time, I'm sorry to say. But the good news is I'm here to tell you the things that will help you exponentially. There's two things that will help you exponentially in this space. Hope I don't have a heart attack and fall down now or go. Imagine if I left you without telling you. So what we really need to focus on in this medium is getting engagement. And engagement means someone is reacting or commenting or sharing your content. Because when they do that, their friend network sees that activity. So John likes this. Oh, what does John like? I like John. Let's go and have a look. And so this is where things go viral. And if you don't understand this, you're really missing out on why to use this medium in the first place. If I see something cool in the newspaper, then only I've seen it. If it's on TV, only I've seen it. But on social media and on Facebook in particular, if I react, comment, or share, then you've reached me, but for free, your message has traveled through the various friend networks. Does that make sense? Good. Let me just quickly tell you how Facebook works. So this screen is your Facebook page, all right? And what you do, you put something up on Facebook, and I would say a lot of people then walk away thinking, yes, we're on social media, we're so flash, we're digital natives, and you think you've done your job. You put it on Facebook, you walk away, and you think you've done it. But people don't go to your Facebook page. Where do they see your content? In their news feed. So this is their news feed. They're not even going there. They just see things here. Now, if you had 100 fans on your Facebook page, how many of them are going to get the content from here in here? Have a guess. Out of 100, how many are going to get from what you put there? And here's a hint, it's not all of them. It's not 100. How many are going to get it here? 2! Only 2. You're wasting your time. You're putting stuff up here and you think you've done your job. It's only 2 people are going to get it. Why? Yes, we'll get to that. We'll hold a hold of that. So what stops it from getting there to there? Someone yelled it out before. It starts with A. The algorithm. So Facebook's algorithm stands here and says, this content, it's not good enough to go over here. Unless it is engaging. So we need to tell Facebook by signaling that people are liking, reacting, commenting, or sharing our stuff, and they'll go, oh wow, this is engaging. We're going to put it in more places over here. Because Facebook want Facebook to be the most engaging platform on the web. They want those however many million people to come back day after day. So they try to keep the lower engagement stuff on the pages. They don't put them in the newsfeed. Because again, you're competing with people's family and friends and Red Bull. Red Bull are way better at this than you guys. They've got people in squirrel suits, like flying through valleys. So unless you can compete with that, you really need to think about how can we increase our engagement. Oh, sorry, I get a little bit excited. So how do we get engagement? So knowing what your community is interested in is important. So these examples here, so this one, for a lot of you, it might look like a heart attack in someone's hands. It's like a burger with noodles and bacon and mayo and egg. Now, if you're a teenage boy or a university student, this is the best thing on the internet. And it's reached over 1 million people. This is still going. We posted this in March. So this is one of our clients. So we posted this in March, and it's still climbing. It's being shared because it's asking for a reaction. You put that in front of, again, knowing who your audience is. Put it in front of students, and they're thinking, this is the best thing I've ever seen. So really understanding your audience is key. Also, making content that demands a reaction, but also to make it easy for your audience, because it's really hard, and I see a lot of companies, they ask, but they're trying to get engagement, and they're asking complex questions like, what are you going to do for the summer holidays? And it's too hard for people. We're so busy. We've got to flick through things. We've got to see what Red Bull's doing. We've got to see what our mums are doing. So to answer your complex question, it's not going to happen unless you've got a very engaged audience. So what I often say is start with reactions. So you ask people to give a like or give a heart, or ask them to choose between one or two to vote for things. And people will definitely give you that quick little vote. The next one is asking closed questions. What's a closed question? Yes or no, black or white, it's a one-word answer. And again, people are more likely to give you one of those than, what are you going to do for the summer holidays? Make sense? So we need engaging content. Now, engaging content is hard and it takes time. Who here has heaps of time? Who's sitting around going, oh shit, don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the afternoon? Is anyone in like that normally? No? So I'm going to share with you a framework that we have been using, which pretty much runs our business. It's the reason we are still in business. So I'll share with you this framework, and I'm going to give you use a case study. So this case study is PGG Wrightson, like agricultural business. So you guys are going to be more engaging than PGG Wrightson. So this is a good base. Now, what we do is initially we establish what we call content pillars. Now these, it could be like brand pillars, but what do you stand for? What makes you, your center, different than other ones? What makes your team want to get out of bed in the morning and come to work? So we come up with these quite big words like relationships, technical value, local community. And we've got promotions here. Now this can get a little bit complex, so I'm going to walk you through what it comes out with, and I will come back and make sure that we understand this. So we've got our content pillars. It took a while to come up with them, like it's a bit of planning, it's a bit of work. And then from the pillars, we work out different topics. And these are the things we're going to talk about. I'm sure you'll be given this if you don't want to take photos. Sarah, will they be given this? Okay, yeah, great. Although you might be sharing it with your friends, go, oh my God, we saw this amazing presentation today at the conference. So yeah. So we get these topics that come off the pillars. These are what we're going to write about. Now, when you do this, it means that everything you say has a meaning. Everything you say has a purpose. It belongs to your brand values. or the plan that you've put in place. So we're not going, shit, it's Friday, haven't posted since Monday, here's a cat photo saying, happy weekend. And this is the thing, when you're busy, it's the last thing that you do, right? Shit, we've got to put something on Facebook, quick. And then you walk away and you think you've done your job. So this is what it looks like in the real world. So relationships, we've got a deal with Tux. So they're talking about their partnerships here. And we're getting good engagement. 276 reactions, 37 comments, 3 shares. And what that tells me, it puts us in front of 6,800 people. So 6,800 individual people have seen this post. Technical value. So calf rearing tech tip. Calves need to drink 10% of their birth body weight in gold colostrum within 6 to 12 hours of birth. Wow, did you know that? Oh, okay, oh good. You would have reacted then. You would have said, I know. I would have done the shocked face going, wow. And then local community. So we might soften, well, you don't need to, but a lot of companies need to soften their brand for social media. You guys are built for this medium. Your target market are all over this thing. So we want to do this well, we want to do it effectively. And promotions. So this is, and again, it might not quite work for you guys, like doing giveaways or that kind of thing, but it might. And the key here is just understanding your audience. So for farmers, giving away gumboots is a smart thing to do. If I try to give those away in St. Heliers, people might look at me funny. Does this make sense? And I came up with one for you guys. Feel free to use it, and now I've got to remember it on the spot. I had people, and I had activity, and I had community, or local community. And what I mean by that is people, if you're doing, people are trusting their kids with you, you know? So if you're doing little pieces on the different teachers, like a little, and if you go to Mosh's Instagram, so we're Mosh Social Media, go to our Instagram, today the post was me. And it's about who I am, so it puts a face to the business. And we've gone through all of our staff, and we're putting that there, and it doesn't have to be hard, it doesn't have to be, don't freak your staff out and make them sit down and get photos. Like it just could be a normal one, but showing who these people are. And again, you've probably got to be careful with kids and things like that, but who are the people in the life of your centre? The next one that I came up with, what did I say? Activity. So you've got these, you've got kids drawing things and making things and creating stuff and going to places. So that could totally be a really big pillar that you regularly post content about. What are they up to? Because again, if I'm a potential parent, I want to know who are the people going to be looking after my kid and what's my kid going to be doing? And then the third one is local community. What's happening that's not about you? And we often say social media is like a party, and if you go to the party and you talk about yourself all night, you don't get invited back to the next party. And so with social media, if we're just talking about ourselves all the time, it can get a little bit boring. But if we connect with the local community, the local fire department, the local ambulance, the school gala, or, the next step. So who are the schools that we can, show some good things for? I think that's quite powerful, rather than just, here's another picture of the lunch that we had with the kids today. When you approach content like this, it becomes balanced as well. So everything you're saying is balanced, rather than the same thing, same thing, same thing. And what is super key, so my big takeaway for you guys is engagement. And the second one is to boost content. So rather than relying on the organic content, because if you had 100 fans, how many see it? Two. So what we want to do is work with Facebook's business model, which is to engage their audience. It's not your audience, actually, it's theirs. And the second one is to give them money. That's what they want. They will reward you exponentially for a few dollars a post. This is reach figures. So when we started spending $20 a post, now you could spend $5 a post. But in this example, it's 20. We started to reach 60,000 people from 5,000 or whatever at the beginning. So as I said, this will grow your stuff exponentially. As soon as you give Facebook $1, you get to access their data. You can start to put the message in front of the right people who want to hear it. And it doesn't matter if they like your page or not. So it doesn't matter if we've got 100 fans, we can still put this content over here for a little bit of money. So if we want to get our message to 28 to 30-year-old women who live in Remuera, done. Easy, no problem, can do that all day. But these platforms are more sophisticated than that. So we can really target people even by their interests and behaviors. How does Facebook know our interests and behaviors? We tell them. We tell them. How do they know that a mother has a kid that's 3 years old? We tell them. Happy birthday, Jimmy. Jimmy's turned 3 today. It's Jimmy turned 3. Happy birthday, Jimmy. You've got robots going, Jimmy turned 3 today. And they're writing that down. And as humans, we kind of go, shit, they'd probably forget after a little while though, won't they? AI doesn't forget. When Jimmy turns 4, they know. It's not like us going, oh my God, Jimmy turned 4. I better quickly say happy birthday. They know. We tell them once, they know. They've locked it in. This stuff can get incredibly creepy, and I can see a few of you looking to run to the exit. So I'm going to dial it back down. Creepiness can certainly be there, but I want you to think about it, and it's the way I sleep at night, is that we're putting the right message in front of the right person. So I don't get ads for women's shoes because it's not my thing. Maybe it is. But it's the right message. So I don't want ads for early childhood stuff unless I'm in that place, unless it's the right time, And that's what I like about this meeting. I've always been quite off about advertising and people yelling at you to buy things. And I really saw social media as a great place where we can put that right message in front of those right people. And again, that's totally how I approach this. We want to engage people and give them the content that's most likely to get them engaged. And it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And then you get 1 million people looking at a heart attack in a person's hand. So it's immensely powerful. Now, it's not part of the brief here, but it's super important. And this is managing the community. So when you start engaging with people, now you've got to manage them. And people are a nightmare. Oh my God. So having a community management structure is really important. So what you don't want is either you guys or people in your offices just reacting every time this goes buzz. So when I started this business, I was actually working full-time at the time, and I was trying to do both things at once, and Hell Pizza was our first client. So they've been with us, they're still with us, they've been with us for 12 years. And I thought that every time my phone buzzed, I had to deal with it. And, you know, people drop pizzas or it's late or whatever. So 11 o'clock at night I was dealing with this. And it was when I was driving myself to Middlemore Hospital thinking I was having a heart attack that I realised this wasn't healthy. So I was having an anxiety attack, like I was just too stressed. So reacting to this is not good. So what I would suggest would be, whoever does this, you have little times in your day and you're only going to check it at those times. And everyone on the team knows these are the times that it gets checked. And sticking with that, I think, will be very helpful for you. God, don't do what I did. Turn notifications off. Yeah, I believe that for all of our wellness. Wellness is important. Last thing is, just on that, so again, you'll get this, but having a service level agreement internally. When are we going to check? How often are we going to check this? If there's an issue with a parent in particular, take it offline. Don't get into a fight on social media. You do not want to do that. And don't just delete anything negative. Like, this is an opportunity to sort something out. Now, if it's abuse, then of course you can. But if it's someone said, my kid didn't like today's lunch, and you go, oh my God, quick, delete that. We don't want anybody else to see that. Because people will screenshot things as well. So you think you've deleted it, they've still got it. And we often talk about creating an external policy for fan comments. So maybe it's, just the rules of the page. We don't tolerate abuse. Don't pick on somebody else's kids. Timmy pushed Jane off the swings today. So having protocols in place on how you're going to deal with positive and negative feedback. And the last thing, if you want some more information on like Facebook and Instagram, we wrote a massive report that just sits on our website, and it's going to be updated for 2021 in the next couple of weeks or so. But thank you for your time, and I think I've got like 3 minutes for questions if you had any.
For us, we struggle a lot with trying to put content on our Facebook page, but obviously we have a lot of parents that don't want their children on it at all, period. And their biggest question to us is, how are you managing who is liking the page, who has access to the page? So you end up in this battle of, do we have a page to advertise, or do we have a closed group so we can share photos?
Yeah. Again, it's a funny space where we are, and where we are. I certainly think having a closed group for parents and things, like if that's an option, that's probably a good idea. Because I'm coming at this from a marketing perspective. I'm trying to get you more people. Let's get more kids in the door. We get more money. So I'm trying to help you there. Now, those are two different things then. So if we can do this, we focus internally in a closed group or a private group, and then externally, maybe there's no pictures of the kids, maybe it's just the staff, it's the activity, and it's the local community. And if you're not, you could even have it front and center. We don't show pictures of our children, like that could be in that about bit. If I was a parent, I'd go, oh, I get why they're doing that. That's smart, that's sensible. What a great place, Beth.
Obviously that limits your engagement, though.
Yes, totally.
You're minimizing, I appreciate what you're saying and trying to get engagement and things like that, but how do you do it when you minimize quite substantially on what you can actually produce without throwing kittens and puppies on the page all the time?
Yeah. So the families, I'm sure, are still going to join that page, but you're not going to show pictures of kids, is what I'm saying. You'll show the pictures of their kids in an internal thing. Yeah. Now,
We do that. If I have a cute picture that I want to put on Facebook, I just ask the parent, and most of them say yes. So if I show them the photo, ask them, and they say yes or no.
from a marketing perspective, you only need to be posting maybe twice a week. so can reduce the need of output.
Most of the parents, when they say no to start with, then they see the content and go, oh, actually, I'm quite okay with that.
Yeah.
So you can revisit that permission as you go.
And you know, again, you're going to be all in definitely different areas. Because we're from all over New Zealand? Okay, so there'll be some smaller places you probably know everybody, and larger places you don't. So, yeah, using what you've learnt within your own parameters would be what I would say. Good question, yeah.
One of the things that I really struggle with on social media is when one from teachers write the posts that from a general population perspective, when you don't have the perspective of an SEN teacher, it kind of comes across as someone's full of textbook or it's teacher X, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I just don't stick in the comments on, because I haven't been involved in SEN, I'm not sure whether parents have a great understanding of technology and draw the strands and the information back to learning, that's as much versus, oh, look at the bubbles that we played with today.
Yeah. Yep, and it's understanding the audience, like that's the key thing. And one of the reasons, A, I got into this, and B, I quite like doing it, I kind of know what I'm doing, is because I'm not a marketer. Marketers are terrible at doing social media because they're trying to market their thing, whereas we should just be using it to communicate. Just talk to the people, ideally in a way that they want to be spoken to. So, again, it's tricky. You're not going to have full-time people doing this stuff, and good on them for taking the time to create the content for sure. Maybe it needs to go through a human check or a normal person check before they go out, like, yeah. And even have that discussion. Hey guys, we're all teachers. We're talking to people who aren't teachers. What can we do? Let's communicate. Let's try and dumb it down is the wrong word, but let's bring it down to normal speak. And in one sentence, 2 sentences. Sorry, yeah.
The number of views that people does it count if you're like scrolling through, or does it actually count when you actually stop?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Dunno. I feel that they record it that, well, if you go like this on your phone, what are you doing? You might miss out some really good things. In my heart of hearts, I just say to myself, it probably means that they've stopped and looked at it. Yeah. Or it's at least got into the newsfeed for sure. But if they spent, so videos, like the way that they count videos is if you watched 2 seconds of it. So Facebook will go, oh, you watched the video. You go, oh my God, look at all the people who watched our video. And they were going, 1, 2, nah. But you've gone, oh my God.
I do have to share this, and it's just like a cautionary thing. We have a private group, and there are a lot of hackers on Facebook, and we were actually hacked by a pedophilia thing. So, and we have the police involved in that. So we've become more cautious and just to be more mindful of what you in the private groups, they're still hackable. And so the stuff that you do share on there, so we've moved everything to Story Park to do that stuff. And we've, so we do have our advertising page, what we're talking about.
Yep.
And so all the stuff with that kind of content, but we keep the two very separate.
Yeah, again,
That happened, and another thing too, the staff had the app on your phone, and a staff member's phone was lost. That was another access point. So these are all the cyber safety stuff we have to be aware of.
100%, yep. You're definitely in a space where cybersecurity, you need to be super careful. Thank you for your time, everybody. One more session. Now I think, do I get to have a drink with everybody? I get to have a drink. Yeah, get to have a drink. Yeah.